Welcome to the Best Monitor for PS5 Awards show, where I will be rewarding each of these monitors for PS5 with exactly what they deserve. Links to all of these monitors for PS5 will be in the description below. Let's go. The GOAT, Alienware AW3225QF. This Alienware AW3225QF is hands down the best monitor I've ever used for PS5 gaming. The 32-inch curved QD-OLED panel delivers absolutely stunning visuals with those deep, inky blacks that make dark seas in games look phenomenal. When I tested HDR games, the colors were so vibrant and punchy that I kept getting distracted by how good everything looked. The 4K resolution paired with a 240Hz refresh rate makes everything buttery smooth, and I didn't notice any input lag whatsoever. What really sets this monitor apart from others is the Dolby Vision support, which made compatible games look noticeably better than the standard HDR. The only downside is that in bright rooms, those deep blacks can sometimes look slightly purple, but that's a small price to pay for this level of quality. God tier, MSI MPG 321URX. The MSI MPG 321URX is an absolute beast that nearly took my top spot. The 32-inch flat 4K QD-OLED has that instantaneous response time that made fast-paced games feel incredibly responsive. I could actually see the difference in competitive shooters. The HDR performance is impressive with those small highlights that really popping at up to 1000 nits, though I preferred using the Peak 1000 HDR mode over the HDR 400 True Black setting for the best experience. What I really appreciated was how this monitor had noticeably less VRR flicker than most OLEDs I've tested, which is huge if you're sensitive to that like I am. The input lag is super low at around 3 ms, making it perfect for competitive gaming. The only thing keeping it from being my absolute favorite is that it doesn't support Dolby Vision, which the Alienware does. Shut up and take my money. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDM. This Asus ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDM is a premium powerhouse that screams quality from the moment you set it up. The 32-inch 4K QD-OLED panel delivers exceptional picture quality with those perfect blacks and vibrant colors covering 99% of the DCI-P3 color space. What impressed me most was how bright it gets in SDR mode, significantly higher than the MSI, which makes it perfect for my sunlit gaming room. The text clarity is excellent too, which is important since I use this for work when I'm not gaming. The build quality feels incredibly premium, especially that stand which feels like it could survive a nuclear blast. One thing to note though, it requires display stream compression to hit its max refresh rate, unlike some competitors with UHB R20 DisplayPort 2.1 support, but honestly I couldn't tell the difference in actual gameplay. Best bang for your buck, AOC Q27G3XMN. I've been testing this AOC for a couple of weeks now, and I'm honestly shocked at what you get for under $300. The mini LED backlight with 336 dimming zones delivers incredible HDR performance that made me physically flinch during lightning strikes in Mad Max Fury Road. The 1440p resolution at 180Hz hits that sweet spot for gaming where you don't need a monster GPU, and the VA panel gives you deep blacks with a 4000:1 contrast ratio. There is some ghosting in fast-paced games, but it's honestly tolerable unless you're a competitive FPS player. The only real downsides I found were the confusing menus and lack of USB connectivity, but at this price point I can easily overlook those issues. Most underrated, Gigabyte M32UC. The Gigabyte M32UC doesn't get nearly enough attention in the monitor space, and after using it for my PS5 gaming sessions, I'm not sure why. This 32-inch curved 4K display with a 144Hz refresh rate delivers a wonderfully immersive gaming experience with its 1500R curve that really pulls you into the action. The VA panel gives you that deep 3000:1 contrast ratio that makes dark seas in games like Cyberpunk 2077 look fantastic. I found the response time decent but not amazing. There is some ghosting in dark seas, though most casual gamers won't be bothered by it. The HDMI 2.1 ports make it perfect for PS5, allowing full 4K 120Hz gameplay, and the KBM switch feature is super handy when switching between my console and PC. The overachiever, LG Ultra Gear 32GS95UE. The LG Ultra Gear 32 GS95UE is absolutely mind-blowing, and I can't stop staring at this OLED panel. What makes this monitor truly special is its dual refresh rate mode. I can instantly switch between 4K 240Hz for gorgeous visuals, or 1080p 480Hz when I need those competitive gaming reflexes. The OLED panel delivers perfect blacks with its infinite contrast ratio and near instantaneous 0.03 ms response time that makes even the fastest action crystal clear. Playing Silent Hill 2 Remake and Black Myth Wukong on this thing is a revelation. The colors pop, the blacks are inky deep, and there's zero ghosting whatsoever. At $1,399, it's definitely an investment, but considering you're essentially getting two high-end monitors in one sleek package, I think it's worth every penny for serious gamers. Ahead of its time, Asus ROG Swift OLED PG27A QDB. This monitor is absolutely mind-blowing with its insane 480Hz refresh rate that makes everything feel buttery smooth. I couldn't believe how responsive it felt when testing fast-paced games. The QD-OLED panel with MLA Plus technology delivers stunning visuals with deep blacks and peak brightness hitting around 1300 nits, making HDR content pop like crazy. I was particularly impressed by the near-instant 0.03 ms response time that completely eliminated ghosting, even in the most chaotic gaming moments. One thing that surprised me was how well the custom heatsink and OLED Cure Plus functions work to prevent burning concerns during my extended testing sessions. The only real downside I encountered was some software bugs where settings would randomly change or not work properly. For competitive gaming though, this thing is years ahead of what most people are using. One trick pony. Sony eZone M9 II. The Sony eZone M9 II is clearly built with PS5 in mind, and it absolutely nails that experience with features like auto HDR tone mapping that perfectly calibrated my PS5 games right out of the box. I found the 4K resolution incredibly sharp, and the 160Hz refresh rate was more than enough for console gaming, though it felt somewhat limiting when I switched to PC gaming where higher refresh rates would be nice. The full array local dimming tried its best, but I noticed some annoying blooming around bright objects in dark seas. Definitely worse than the original M9 model. The built-in speakers surprised me with decent audio quality, though they did get a bit tiny at higher volumes. While it excels as a PS5 companion with its automatic game genre detection and picture adjustments, it feels like Sony focused too much on console optimization at the expense of being truly versatile. Most innovative, Samsung Odyssey Neo G9. This monster of a monitor completely transformed my gaming setup with its ridiculous 49-inch super ultra-wide display that wraps around your field of view with that 1000 R curve. I was blown away by how the mini LED backlighting with 2392 dimming zones created incredible contrast with deep blacks and bright highlights hitting up to 1000 nits in HDR content. Gaming at 240Hz on this thing is an experience unlike anything else. Racing games and flight simulators feel particularly immersive when they fill your entire peripheral vision. The picture-by-picture mode was a game-changer for my workflow, letting me connect multiple devices and view them side by side as if I had two separate monitors without any bezels in between. The only real drawback I found was the sheer size. At nearly 5 feet wide, you need serious desk space to accommodate this behemoth. If you want the most innovative gaming experience possible and have the space, nothing else comes close. Jack of all trades, Corsair Xeon 27QHD 240. The Corsair Xeon 27QHD 240 really impressed me with its versatility for both PC and PS5 gaming. The OLED panel delivers those deep, inky blacks that make dark seas in games like Spider-Man look absolutely stunning. And the 240Hz refresh rate keeps everything buttery smooth. I was particularly blown away by how it handles motion. There's virtually no ghosting thanks to that near instantaneous 0.03 ms response time. While it's not native 4K, it does downscale 4K signals from the PS5, giving you a more detailed image than standard 1440p. The only real downside I found was the HDR performance. It doesn't get bright enough to make colors truly pop in HDR mode, which is a bit disappointing for a premium monitor. Biggest letdown, Acer Nitro XV275K. I had such high hopes for the Acer Nitro XV275K with its mini LED technology, but man, what a disappointment. While the 4K resolution looks crisp and the 160Hz refresh rate sounds impressive on paper, the actual gaming experience left me frustrated. The biggest issue I encountered was the terrible input lag at 60Hz, which made reaction-based games feel sluggish and unresponsive. The local dimming feature that should be its strength actually creates ugly visual artifacts. I noticed milk splashing across a dark background in a test video shifted from white to orange and flickered as it moved through different dimming zones. And those OSD controls, absolutely clunky and frustrating to use, especially when you're trying to quickly adjust settings mid-game. One job failed it. BenQ Mobius EX321UX. The BenQ Mobius EX321UX had one primary job, to be a great PS5 monitor, and it completely missed the mark. While the 32-inch 4K display with mini LED technology looks impressive with its 1000 nits peak brightness, the monitor adds around 10 ms of input lag when local dimming is enabled, which is crucial for that HDR experience. I was also shocked to discover they removed the built-in speakers that previous models had, which is a major oversight for a console gaming monitor. The bulky design with its tripod stand takes up way too much desk space, and the lack of integrated cable management means my setup looks like a mess. For a premium $1,200 monitor marketed towards console gamers, these oversights are simply unacceptable. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. For more videos like this in the future, remember to leave a like and subscribe. Alright, peace out.